Once again, we see how NBA legends, active players, and former players, they always tell you directly opposite of what the media is telling you. And I think there's a reason for that. And yes, I'm your host, RB The Breakthrough, giving you the most objective commentary from a basketball player's perspective. And you do not want to get caught lacking out in these NBA streets. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and make sure to click all. Also, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, you do know that last weekend my computer did crash. It was extremely hard to get that Q&A out to you guys. I literally edited that video for about 13 hours. But just know that this weekend I do have some YouTubers to expose. And in addition to that video, I am also dropping a diss track. Both of those will be dropped Sunday. But on to the video. Now, as I commonly tell you guys, ever since 2010, when LeBron James, a top 2 player in the world, joined Dwayne Wade, a top 3 player in the world, and Chris Bosh, a top 10 player in the world, and yes, that's all facts. Anybody who doesn't know that, you weren't actually watching basketball at the time that those guys got together. You're going off biased media and you don't know what you're talking about. But ever since that super team did get together in Miami, the league has now become basically about super teams, getting the best players, putting them on the same team, and a lot of competition and parity has left the league. Again, we saw that with LeBron James in Miami, or LeBron James going back to Cleveland. We've seen that with Kevin Durant, and even though it was a failed attempt, I mean, we saw that even in Oklahoma City this year. Now Boogie Cousins is on the Warriors, giving the Warriors a legit all-star starting 5, even though I do have to say it's not the Warriors' fault, it's other teams for not giving Boogie offers, but you get my drift. And now we have another active NBA player coming out and speaking against this particular era, and that player is Vince Carter. Now, as we do know, he did just sign another contract, and he is over the age of 40. And he was recently asked about this super team era and chasing rings, and he said, quote, "I come from an era where that's not how it was, so that's still instilled in me, and I don't have any problem with how it's done now, it's just not for me." Now, here's the thing, we already know exactly who and what he's talking about here. And for the record, I have already heard Nick Wright come out. He's basically already said that what Kevin Durant and Boogie Cousins did was bad, but what LeBron James has done in the East for the last 8 years, apparently that's not similar at all. Apparently LeBron James has never been on a super team. And yo, cut the BS, cut the malarkey. Just because something is not the same detail for detail does not mean that it's not similar. And if you want to throw out all the details and just look at the result, if we look at both LeBron James and Kevin Durant, and again, this is fact, this is not to be disputed, both of those players never won until they had +2 All-Stars by their side, who, by the way, they went and joined. They had to go join teams that were not their original teams with +2 and +3 All-Stars to win their first championships. Now, I know immediately when I say this, people will say, oh, but Randy, Kobe Bryant and super teams. Kobe Bryant never joined a super team. And as a matter of fact, people want to throw in Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan never joined a super team. If you listen to what Vince Carter says here, he says that not to ring chase has been instilled in him. Kobe Bryant never went to a super team. He was traded on draft night and he stayed with that team for the remainder of his career. And again, we're talking all facts. Take out your biased opinion that has been geared from the media. He didn't ask to be with Shaq. And in his own words, he wanted to create his own legacy and not have Shaq attached to his legacy. So much so that whenever Shaq left and all he was left with was Kwame Brown, Chris Mim, and Smush Parker, he still stayed on the team and did not ring chase. He was not a mercenary. So no, if you're trying to compare that, absolutely false. And as a matter of fact, I mean, even if we think about guys like Allen Iverson, I mean, so many guys from that era, they didn't ring chase. And when I say that, I'm talking about the players who would be considered from the best player in the world to top 2 or 3 at their prime. All facts, we got the receipts. And you can tell me the Boston Celtics all day, but I'm telling you, I've watched all those guys' careers since they were rookies. KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce were all past their prime. Again, another fact that's not to be disputed, what Kevin Durant and LeBron James did, they did it in their prime. Kevin Durant joined a player who had the MVP the previous year. LeBron James joined a player who was top 2 and top 3 in MVP voting the last previous years there. And if anybody wants to dispute that Dwayne Wade was not in his prime whenever LeBron James and Chris Bosh joined them in Miami, then please tell me how in the hell was Dwayne Wade the best player on the Heat in the 2011 playoffs and finals? How easily you expose your bias. Chris Bosh with no help was leading that Toronto Raptors team to the playoffs, giving Dwight Howard 45 and 10. Look it up, it's on YouTube. And guys, we're talking prime Dwight Howard here, prime Orlando Magic Dwight Howard. So please stop with the false narratives. Please stop regurgitating what the media has told you, because real talk, by the way that some of y'all comment, it's literally like you were not actually living and watching basketball at the time that these things actually happened. Because if you were, you would recognize how biased and wrong what the media is saying here. Also, today's post notification shout out does go to Sam16. He says, RB, keep exposing the media, and I have been Noti gang for a year now. Yo, shout out to everybody on the notification gang here. And Sam, you are definitely appreciated here. Now, whether you're a longtime supporter of the channel or a new subscriber, if you would like a post notification shout out, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like this video, and let me know that you did in the comments down below. Also, guys, again, stay tuned, because Sunday I do have some YouTubers to expose, and I will also be dropping a diss track. Telling you right now, you do not want to miss it. It is going to be lit. And also, if you would like me to buy you a free pair of shoes, yes, a free pair of shoes, make sure to watch the 100K Q&A that I just dropped. Details are in that video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Hey, I just want to thank all of you guys for your consistent support, as well as everybody that does donate. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram, because I do feature a lot of your comments there. But there's not too much else I want to talk about. Sincerely, God bless every single one of you guys. I'm your man, RB the Breakthrough, and I will see all of you in the next video. Let that outro play though.
Turn it on.